Hey guys, Goat Mumbler here. Today we're going to show you how to disbud your little goat kids. We've got just about all of ours done, but we have a couple late arrivals here that we need to do today, so we're going to go ahead and get started on them. First thing you're going to need is a kid box. I've seen people try to do this with one person hold it down, the other disbudding. Stressful on the kid, too many chances of maybe burning yourself or your partner's helping you. This just makes it a lot easier. Plus, everything here at the Double R is a one-man operation, so we try to fix everything to where we can do it ourselves. Now, this kid box has some dimensions that you can find on the internet. It's easy to build yourself. And I built this one with my limited carpentry skills, and they're really easy to do. What we have here is a 24 by 18 inch piece of 3/8 plywood. We've got a 1x6 for the front, bottom, and the rear. And we just had another piece of scrap plywood that we cut to fit once we got it all done. Little handle from Home Depot. Latch comes there from Home Depot as well. The other thing you'll need to do in building this little beast is oh crap. Damn it, Mr. Bill. He's always showing up where he's not supposed to be. I'll tell him where we'll see him next time. One other thing we did with this, with another piece of 1x6, and this is 8.5 inches from the bottom, is we built a brace in here so the goat can rest its chest on it. Now, obviously not all kids are the same. You might have some short ones, you might have some tall ones. Tall ones will fit in here just fine, and these boxes are good for kids that are anywhere from a week old up to 3, maybe 4 weeks old. Depends on how you can squeeze them down in here, but going after about 3 weeks or so, you're not going to have some trouble. But we put this brace in here 8.5 inches from the top, and you can also take some scrap pieces of 1x6 and cut them to fit in the bottom for your short-legged kids, so they'll be able to stand up when they put their neck in here, and they're not struggling. They don't have their legs off the ground. The other thing we did is we took another piece of 1x6 once we got our curve the way we wanted it. And this one goes down 5.5 inches from the top. And we put another piece, we stenciled it out, cut another piece to fit, and got all these edges nice and smooth also. But this just makes a little wider platform for the goat's neck in there. I think it makes it a little more comfortable for him. So that's all you need to do for your goat box. If you buy one of these, or build one of these, it'll make your life a lot easier. Also, it works good too while you have the kid in here. You can go ahead and give him a shot if you need to, ear tag him while he's in here. So it's a good little confinement device when you don't have any help, which is pretty much all the time around here. So let's go get our first victim and see how it goes. Okay guys, we got our first victim here. You can tell how happy he is to be here. Now something about this kid, he is about 15 days old. I like to disbud my kids anywhere from 10 to 12 days, and the reason is because they don't have this horn bud sticking up. At 10 to 12 days, it's just a round, like a button. And I have my best results when we're doing kids of that age. Once they start sprouting out like this, and they start jumping pretty quick, between 12, 15, 16, 17 days. Yes, you can get it disbudded. You just have to be a little more careful about what you're doing, and you also increase your chances of having what we call scurs, which is once the old horn is fallen off and it looks like you've got a good disbud, a few months later some weird looking stuff that didn't quite get completely cauterized and died off starts coming up, and it's weird looking horns. It's not going to be a nice round horn, it's going to be something weird looking. A lot of times they're flat and just ugly looking. So you end up spending the entire length of life of this project goat snipping that scur off. These 4-H and FFA kids that are handling these goats usually handle them on a short chain with their wrist, and with the kid jerking back at them a lot of times, if they have scurs up there, then it just beats the kid's hand to death. So that's why we want to get them disbudded so they look nice for these kids to show. But it's really best to get them earlier rather than later. 10 to 12 days works best for me, and that's the best results that I usually get. Now the next thing you're going to need is your disbudding iron. One of the mistakes that a lot of people make is they plug in their iron 5 minutes later. Yeah, it burns the hair and it looks like it's doing a good job, but then they end up with scurs on all their goats and they can't figure out why. Well, what I found out is that a lot of times the disbudding iron is not hot. It's not red hot the way it needs to be. Well, how do you find that out? Well, here's how we do it. Looks pretty hot, so we're going to use that. Now what we're going to do is, I try not to, I pull the ear out of the way like this, and I try to hold the goat's head down without clamping on it, so it can still breathe. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, but I try to keep their ear away from it. This doesn't really work for me, so I just try to keep it tucked underneath. Now this is going to be an unusual position for me because I want to show you guys what's going on, but normally I hold the goat down with one hand and burn with the other. So I'm going to do it so you guys can see it the best. Always try to wear a glove too, because the goat jerks a little bit, that iron gets on you, gets on the back of your hand, this soft fleshy skin. It's going to ruin your day and you're really not going to like it. So anyway, let's see what we can do here with this little guy. Get the disbudding iron, hot of course. Try to get it right over here. Now a lot of people will take their trimmers, trim this back where they can see what's going on, but I can usually feel and see where I'm going. I do a little short burn real quick, pull it back to see what it looks like, make sure that I'm on the right spot. I know. So, as you can see here, we've got a nice, all the way around that little bud, and I think we're going to be in a good position. I usually hold the iron on there for 10 to 11 seconds. I don't want their skull to get any hotter than that. And then I stand back and I look at it to make sure we got a nice copper or red ring all the way around. If you don't get it all the way around, that's where that horn's going to continue to grow back up later on, and that's going to cause one of your scurs. So let's go ahead and try this here. It's not a bad idea to have a fan going too, kind of blow the smoke away from you, but I knew that would cause too much noise for the camera, so let's try this. See how they jump around? Let's try this. I like to twist the iron too. I don't put a lot of pressure on it. The iron weighs a lot itself. It has plenty of weight. So it looks like I got a good burn all the way around here, except maybe this back side. So let's go a little bit more back here. There we go. Take a peek, see what we got. That looks like we got a good burn going. Blow on it, let it cool off a little bit, and then one more time for good measure. Okay, that ought to be good. Next thing I do, take my hoof trimmers, try to get this top piece off here, see what we got left. Looks good all the way around. Take the side of my iron right here and try to burn the top of that too, just to make sure there's no blood vessels that haven't been cauterized. The goat doesn't feel this at all. As much as I can. There we go. A little more over there. Okay, that's looking pretty good. What we're going to do next, take some antiseptic spray, get that in there, in case we got any openings in the skin, don't want to have a little infection or anything, and he's good to go. We'll do the other one here in a minute. But that's how we do it here at the Double R. And if you've got any questions or comments, we'd love to hear them because we're always interested in learning new things. So until next time, adios and guns up.